Today, we're taking a trip back in time to unearth 20 lesser-known yet practical money-saving skills from World War II. Brace yourself for a fascinating journey into the past. Skill 1. Making homemade soap and cleaning supplies. With the scarcity of commercial cleaning products, people of World War II got innovative. They began to make soap from everyday household items like leftover cooking fat, water, and wood. This wasn't just an excellent means of sanitation, but it also helped reduce waste by utilizing items that would have otherwise been discarded. In addition to soap, they also created cleaning supplies using pantry staples like vinegar and baking soda, which can clean surfaces and freshen the air just as effectively as many modern cleaners. Skill 2. Sock darning. A small hole in a sock wasn't a call to toss it in the bin, but a signal to repair. Using a simple needle and thread, people skillfully darned their socks, patching up holes and extending the sock's usage. This allowed them to keep their feet warm and dry while saving precious resources. Skill 3. Utilizing every part of food. Nothing went to waste in the kitchens of World War II, not even scraps. From meat bones being used to prepare hearty broths, vegetable peels being simmered for nutrient-rich stocks, to stale bread being turned into a sweetbread pudding or ground up for breadcrumbs, every bit of food served a purpose. This resulted in less waste, more meals, and healthier, more nutrient-rich diet options. Skill 4. Tinfoil collection and reuse. Tinfoil was a coveted item during the war. Collected and reused with careful consideration, it served a multitude of purposes, from safely wrapping food to being a resourceful material for crafting and even making toys. The value placed on such an item makes one reconsider what we view as disposable today. Skill 5. Animal rearing for food. Many households reared chickens, rabbits, and pigs. This provided a source of meat, eggs, and even milk in some cases. Skill 6. DIY furniture and home repairs. Rather than hiring professionals, people learned to repair their own homes and furniture. This included tasks like fixing leaks, mending broken furniture, and even repainting and plastering. Skill 7. Making clothes from unconventional materials. Materials like parachute silk, flour sacks, and scrap fabric were turned into clothing. Not only did this provide necessary clothing, but it also allowed for creativity and uniqueness in their apparel. Skill 8. Making homemade toys. Toys were handmade from available materials like scrap fabric, wood, and tin. These could range from simple dolls to more complex mechanical toys. Skill 9. Bicycle maintenance and repair. With fuel in short supply, bicycles became a primary mode of transportation. As a result, many people learned to maintain and repair their own bicycles. Skill 10. Foraging for edible plants. We'll get to that in a second. I have a favor to ask of you. If you like this video so far, please subscribe to the channel. Foraging became a necessary and life-sustaining skill in an era of scarcity. Knowledge of edible plants, berries, and nuts could mean the difference between a bland meal and a nutritious, flavorful one. Learning to recognize which plants were safe to eat and where to find them offered a valuable supplement to rations. Skill 11. Brewing and fermenting at home. To save on costs, people brewed their own beer and fermented their own foods. This not only provided nutritional food, but also allowed for some luxury during tough times. Skill 12. Making fire without matches. When matches were scarce, people turned to more primitive methods to keep warm and cook their meals. Fire-starting techniques using friction, like the bow drill or hand drill, became essential skills. Some also used the flint and steel method, which involves striking a hard piece of steel against flint to create sparks. Skill 13. Insulating homes with newspaper. Newspapers were used for insulation to keep homes warm during winter. This low-cost method was effective in reducing heating costs. Skill 14. Building and using root cellars. To keep food from spoiling, root cellars were used. These underground structures were naturally cool and served as primitive refrigerators. Skill 15. Crafting handmade gifts. With limited resources and goods, gift-giving became a more personal and creative practice. People turned to crafting handmade gifts, from knitted scarves and hats to intricately made toys and trinkets. These gifts carried more sentiment and personal touch than anything bought from a store. Skill 16. Harvesting and saving seeds. Home gardens were an essential source of food, and seed saving ensured a continuous supply of crops. People harvested and saved seeds from their best plants to ensure a good yield for the next planting season. Skill 17. Die pest control. To protect their home gardens, people learned to make their own pest control solutions. Common methods included using companion plants, homemade sprays, and even certain types of insects. Skill 18. Rainwater collection. With water being such a precious resource, rainwater collection became a common practice. By placing barrels or other large containers outside, households could gather rainwater to use for watering plants, washing clothes, and in some cases, drinking and cooking. It was a straightforward and efficient way to supplement their water supply. Skill 19. Repurposing household items. Items that would usually be thrown away were given new life. Tin cans became pots, old newspapers turned into insulation, and old clothing was made into quilts or rugs. Skill 20. Learning basic sewing and mending. With clothing scarcity, sewing and mending became necessary skills. Small holes could be mended. Garments could be taken in or let out as needed, and worn-out clothing could be repurposed into new items. These skills extended the life of each garment and allowed for continued clothing supply even during shortages. Stay tuned for more such content, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, goodbye and take care.